Hare Krishna, Namaste.
Chapter 13 is entitled as Kshetrajna Yoga, also as Prakriti Purusha Vibhaga Yoga, also as Prakriti Purusha Viveka Yoga. Sloka 28, Part 2. Samaṁ sarveṣu bhūteṣu tiṣṭhantaṁ parameśvaram vinaśyatsv vinaśyantaṁ paśyati paśyati. In the previous session, we learned that Supersoul, Paramatma, is samaṁ, equal, is parameśvaram, is a supreme controller, and he is avinashi, indestructible, when the body is destroyed, or when the Prakriti is destroyed. Srila Prabhupada, in his purport, says the Sanskrit word parameshvara is sometimes translated as the individual soul, because the soul is the master of the body, and after the destruction of the body, it transfers to another form. In that way, he is master, which means whatever we saw in the previous session on this sloka can be applied to the individual soul, the Jivatma. The Jivatma is samaṁ. The Jivatma is parameshvara. The Jivatma is avinashi. That is, the living entity, that is the individual living entities, are equal or same. They are the supreme controller and they never get destroyed. These are the three things being mentioned. Sarveṣu bhūteṣu, in all the bodies, different types of bodies that we can see, Deva, Manushya, Jangama, Tavara, and so forth. Parameśvaram, as the complete ruler of that individual body that they reside in. Samaṁ, equal, or they are sentient. Tiṣṭhantaṁ, existing. Vinaśyatsv tat, when the body is destroyed or perishes. Avinaśyantaṁ, the remaining is not destroyed, or the remaining is the Jivatma, which is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. In other words, body is perishable, but when that perishable body get destroyed, the remaining within the body, which is the Jivatma, is not destroyed. Paśyati, one who sees. Paśyati, he alone actually sees. The Atma. Who can see the Atma is a person who can understand that the Jivatma is sentient being which is same in all the bodies, or equal in all the bodies would be much appropriate than saying same. If we say same, it may confuse for someone to understand that is it's the same one Atma, the living entity, which is present everywhere, and that's not the case. It is the same Paramatma who is situated in every living entity. That we saw in the previous session. But it is not the same individual Atma which is present in different bodies. That is not what is meant by samaṁ. They are same by their knowledge. That we will see as we go further into this sloka. So the point here is one who knows that the living entities who are sentient beings are equal, though they have different bodies, and they are the Parameshvara, supreme controller of that particular body which they reside in, because they can control that body as a master. And when the body finishes, the Atma continues to exist, which is the avinashi part, which the Jivatma never get destroyed. So one who has this clear knowledge that the Jivatma residing in all the bodies are alike, and that even though the body perishes, the Atma doesn't perish. And this Atma is the controller of the body. Then such person can see the self, the Atma. In other words, one who does not have this knowledge, doesn't see these differences, they cannot see the self. So what are the three differences being mentioned here between body and Atma? The qualities of Atma are, they are samaṁ, they are parameśvaram, and they are avinashi. Whereas the qualities of the body, the prakriti in the form of body, is opposite of what we saw for Atma. They are not samaṁ, which means vishamam. They are not parameśvaram, which means they are niyamyam, being controlled. They are not avinashi, they are vinasham, which means the body doesn't exist eternally. The body gets destroyed. So we can see the difference here. Atma is samaṁ parameśvaram avinashi, whereas the body is vishamam, niyamyam, and vinasham. Atmas are equal in all the different bodies, but the body are not equal. One body is not the same as the other. They vary. Atmas are parameśvaram. They control the body, whereas the body controlled by the Atma. The Atma are imperishable, never get destroyed. The opposite of that is the body get destroyed at one point of time. So in this way, Krishna is trying to help us to understand the difference between body and Atma and how we can realize those differences through these three main points. So what's the differences? The Atma is samaṁ, equal. The Atma is parameśvaram of that particular body, and Atma never get destroyed, avinashi. Whereas one who thinks body to be the samaṁ, parameśvaram, avinashi, they are in ignorance. Samaṁ in a sense, body to be knowledgeable. The samaṁ term also refers to sentient being. Therefore, one who thinks body is sentient, body is the controller, body never get destroyed, that means whatever we saw as the qualities of Atma, this person thinks are the qualities of the body. And not only that, this person thinks the Atma has the qualities of the body that we saw, which means the Atma goes through vishamam, the Atma is being controlled, the Atma will get destroyed. Exactly the reverse of what the actual truth is. Considering the qualities of bodies to be the qualities of Atma, and considering the qualities of Atma to be the qualities of body. The body doesn't have any intelligence, but thinking body has intelligence. The body doesn't control anything, but considering the body is the one which controls everything. the body get destroyed at one point of time, but thinking the body always going to exist, or thinking the Atma depends on the body, it takes that particular form. There is a horse Atma, there is a elephant Atma, there is a Devata Atma, there is a Manushya Atma, and so forth. Thinking Atma varies, and thinking that the Atmas are controlled by the body. That is, considering the body as a doer, whereas Atma is a non-doer. And another point is thinking that Atma is vinasham, meaning it get destroyed when the body get destroyed. Now let's understand some of these terms here. Vishamam meaning the variegatedness, the different things. In this context, there are different types of bodies: Devata body, Manushya body, animal bodies, birds, trees, plants, and so forth. Many types of bodies. Some are higher, some are lower in nature. But the Atma who is present within these different bodies are same. When we say same, it is equal by its nature. They do not differ in their nature. Just because it's an elephant Atma doesn't mean that Atma is of size of an elephant. They are all same size. We have discussed these things also in detail in the same chapter when we went through the qualities of the Atma. Those who want to refer, it is in this same chapter, 3rd Sloka. We have different parts where we saw that Atma is Chetana, Atma is different from the body, prana, and then senses, and even the knowledge it possesses. Atma is Ajada, Atma is eternal, Atma is Anu, and there are many Atmas, and Atma naturally pleasurable. Whereas exactly the opposite is what the qualities of the body. The bodies are achetanas, the bodies are jada, the bodies are not eternal, the bodies are not anu, they varies on their size. Of course the bodies are many, like how Atmas are many, but it is not naturally pleasurable. It doesn't have this ananda because they don't have, the Prakriti doesn't have consciousness. It is jada, doesn't have intelligence, it's non-sentient being. Therefore, Vishamam, meaning we see different types of body. From the body perspective, they are all different. Horse body, donkey body, cat body, parrot body, and so forth. But when we see from the Atma's perspective, it is samam, it is equal. And it is samam, meaning it is sentient, whereas the bodies are non-sentient. They don't have consciousness compared to the Atma, which is full of consciousness. So Vishamam, because we see Devata body, Manushya body, animal body, bird's body, etc. Therefore the body is Vishamakaram. They vary. Whereas when we see the Atma, there are no difference between one Atma and the other Atma. Why? Because Atmas are Jnanakaram. They are all of knowledge, made of knowledge. In that way, there is no differences. They are all one in that sense. And regarding parameśvaram, we have learned the same in the 23rd Sloka, where the term parameśvaram can very well refer to the individual atmas as well, as they are the ruler of the body, senses and mind where they reside in. Even those who think body to be atma, atma to be the body, dehatma buddhi, when the body perishes, they think the self has perished. They don't think Paramatma has perished. If it considered in that viewpoint, it is also appropriate to say that the term Parameshvara here can be referred to Jivatma. The Jivatma is Lord because he has a complete control of his senses, and he brought that from the previous body, and as he leaves this body, he is going to carry these things to the next destination, to the next body that it's going to receive. They are the bhūteṣu. Therefore, it is not appropriate to say that we never brought anything into this world when we were born, and we are not going to take anything when we die. So that's not appropriate statement, and that is not what has been said in Gita either. We always carry something from the previous life into this life, and when we leave, we carry from this life to the next life, meaning to the next body. They are the senses, mind, vasanas, our karmas. They are all so many that we carried from previous life, and we will be carrying this to the next life. Why? Because we are the Ishwaras of our own sense, mind, vasanas, etc. Another important thing to know is that just because the Atma and body has been together for beginningless period, they are so tightly connected, one may think that the Atma may have the qualities of the body because of the association that they have for a long period. The Atma may have become like the body, but this is not the right understanding. Say if we have a Ganga water in a mud pot, and if we have the water, Ganga water in a golden pot, the water doesn't turn into gold or mud. Similarly, though the Atma is placed in various types of body, the Atma doesn't go through any changes or doesn't become like the Prakriti. The Atma continues to stay as the ruler of its mind, senses and body. Hence, Atma is Parameshvara of its body, mind and senses. Another point to be learnt is we see there are so many different types of bodies, and the differences are only to the body, not to the Atma. But the self, the Atma which is within this body, are all equal, which means the Atma inside the body of an worm and the Atma inside the body of Brahma, the four-headed Brahma, are equal. Then what to speak about the other living entities with different bodies? They are all equal. Now what we are seeing as different entities is only through the body. Therefore I see this is a dog, this is a cat, this is an elephant, he is a man, she is a woman, this is a child, he is Devata. All these things are identified through the body. Therefore we see all these differences. Now remove the differences. Separate the body out. What we are going to have is only Atma. When we see that Atma, we don't say at that point Devata Atma or a horse Atma. It is Atma. That's it. In that sense, the identifications are given to the body. When the bodies are removed, taken off from the equation, it is only the Atma which remains. The Atma is full of knowledge, and this is common to all the Atmas. They exist eternally, they are full of knowledge, they are naturally blissful. Just because the Atma has been associated with the body for the long time doesn't mean that the Atma has acquired or taken the properties of the Prakriti. That will never happen. Say, we should not consider the example where a log of wood immersed in a salt lake, in a salt water, will turn salty. Likewise, the self, the Atma dwelling within the body, will also acquire the nature of the body, is not the right understanding. That example does not apply over here. It is true that they are connected for a very long period, which cannot be traced back, but the Atma will never become non-sentient. They are always sentient. In that way they are samaṁ. The body may undergo changes, but the Atma will never undergo any kind of changes. The body perishes, the Atma never perishes. The body to be controlled, the Atma controls the body. And this discrimination is called Viveka Jnana. To know the differences is very important. Like there are many different colored cows. White color cow, black color cow, brown color cow, spotted cow, and different colors of cows. But they all give the same white colored milk. The black color cow does not give black milk. The brown color cow does not give a brown milk. Similarly, though there are different bodies, cow body, cat body, duck body, snake body, human body, the Atma doesn't get affected because of these different bodies. They are jnanakara. They are full of knowledge, eternity, and bliss. Vinaśyatsv avinaśyantaṁ. The one who sees that the body is destructible and will be destroyed, sees that the Atma is not destroyed at the time of destruction of the body, because Atma cannot be destroyed. The opposite of what we saw so far is when one identifies himself with the color of his body, with his height of the body, weight, appearance, etc. He must take a repeated birth because he has not understood or he has not learned to see things separately. He still considers everything to be one. Dehatma buddhi. Body to be the Atma, Atma to be the body. And such person have to be entangled, will be entangled into the samsara. Whereas a person who understands that he is not this color of the body, he is not the beauty of this body, he is not the height of this body, he is not so and so, he is separate from these variations, these differences that produce or shown by the body, are considered to be the real seer of the self. To summarize, Atma's qualities, they are sentient, samaṁ, they are parameśvaram, controller of their body, and they are avinaśi, never get destroyed. Whereas the body, vishamam, they undergo a lot of changes, niyamyam, they are being controlled, vināsyanam, they get destroyed. One who understands this are considered to be the real seer and who can see the self. The opposite of that is one who doesn't understand this or ignorant. Therefore, they are not the seer of the truth. Therefore, they cannot see the self. The next sloka actually speaks about the reward that one gets by having this viveka jnana, discriminating power, ability between the Atma and body, and the reward that one gets due to the lack of this understanding, this knowledge. Samaṁ sarveṣu bhūteṣu tiṣṭhantaṁ parameśvaram vinaśyatsv vinaśyantaṁ paśyati sa paśyati.
Namaste. Hare Krishna.